My grandma tried to control my life for 27 years, hating my boyfriend and demanding I stay forever. Now I'm engaged, free, and building the life she tried to deny me. I, 27 female, have lived with my gran, 77 female, all my life. She raised my older brother and me, and for that I am extremely grateful. However, even though I love her, I have to admit that my gran has always been extremely entitled, controlling, and even manipulative, mostly regarding my life in particular. I still live at home, and I act as her caretaker, as well as helping out my autistic brother. And because someone has made the accusation before, no, that doesn't mean I'm just mooching off of her. I actually take care of her. I cook her meals, I clean up for her, I help her bathe, do her hair, and get dressed. I help her get to the bathroom and clean up after. I help her sort out her meds. I run errands and do the shopping, as I'm the only one who can drive. I help her get to appointments. I push her wheelchair whenever she's in it, and I do anything and everything else she needs. I have been doing most of these things since I was still in high school. Yes, she pays for everything, but that's only because she hasn't allowed me to get a job in almost 8 years. Always telling me things like, what if you were at work but I really need you, among other things. And even when I had a job, she took all but a fraction of every paycheck to put towards bills, which I was fine with at the time because I felt like it was only fair to pay my share since I finally had an income. Every time I bring up looking for a job now, she has a million reasons to keep me from doing so. Most recently though, she's taken to hating my boyfriend, 24 male, of 6 years, for pretty much no real reason besides dating me. She talks crap about him constantly, calling him useless and good for nothing, insulting him behind his back on an almost daily basis, even though he's bent over backwards to help me out in many situations. She makes comments like, he must not love you very much since he never comes around, but then she pitches a fit every time he asks me out on a date. And the only times she ever wants him coming to our house is when she can exploit him, like roping him into moving furniture or cleaning out the garage. She makes bad-handed remarks about how we've been together for 6 years, but he's never proposed, but then raises hell if I spend more than a couple of hours with him on a date. She's even told me, I'd like you to give me a great-grandchild sometime before I die. But she loses her mind of my boyfriend even so much as kisses me anywhere near her. My boyfriend is the sweetest, kindest, most rewarding guy I've ever known, and he treats me better than anyone in my life ever has. He has a great job and makes a decent living, owns his own home and car, and is very good with his finances, but she still has to nitpick every little thing about him to try and turn me against him. She even talks crap about his family, mother and brother, even though they also treat me extremely well, and no matter how much I defend any of them, she won't stop. This kind of came to her head the other night. For context, we've just been informed by our landlord that on June 2023 he's selling the house we're renting, so unless we can come up with $30,000 to buy it from him, we'll have to move. That's a whole different can of worms in and of itself, but what floored me was that a few nights ago my gran went from insulting my boyfriend's hair, he's been growing it out, to, maybe we should move to a state that's 2 states away so you can get away from him, in the same breath. And no, she wasn't joking. I've been with him for 6 years, but she wants me to move away from him because she hates him. Now as far as us possibly having to move out in a year, she 100% assumes that I most definitely have to move with her and my brother to keep taking care of them, with no exceptions. My boyfriend and I are already talking about sitting down with her to discuss my moving in with him instead, and I'm dreading that discussion because I know it won't go well. All she's done for years is depend on me, to the point that she actively refuses outside help because OP can just do it. She refuses to move to a retirement or assisted living home, and to make things worse, she's already decided that after she's gone I will be taking over full care of my brother, without even considering what I want to do with my life. I just know she's going to go postal and lay on a massive guilt trip when I finally tell her I want to move out entirely, but I want to get on with my own life. I'm tired of my gran thinking she's entitled to my life. I'm sorry I don't have a conclusion for this right now, I'll try to post an update when we finally talk to her. Any advice for that conversation is welcome. I'll need all the help I can get. Yikes, OP, I think that conversation shouldn't be a dialogue, it should be your monologue telling your grandma that you're out. You are a 27-year-old adult woman who is not allowed to get a job. How's that work? You're not allowed. And of course she hates your boyfriend because he's going to steal you away from her. She needs you because without you, she would either have to pay for a nurse or actually pay for a retirement or assisted living home. So, yeah, in her mind, she needs to try to get you away from your boyfriend as fast as possible so she can keep controlling you. And she's not just doing that now, but she also plans to control you beyond the grave by telling you what you can or cannot do with the rest of your life. So again, OP, in my opinion, that conversation should not be a dialogue. It should just be you telling your gran that you're out. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now we're going to move on with one community comment that pretty much sums up everything that the community said. As soon as she starts the arguing, the overstepping, she will silently get up and go get your packed bags or boxes and inform her that as she is overstepping the boundary you have set, you are prepared to leave immediately and not give her the grace period you intended. Then, at the door, give her one more chance. Tell her, now it's your decision. Shall I stay 2 more months to help you or leave immediately? If her pride is too strong, then you will be leaving immediately, though she may change your mind the next day. If she happens to ask or beg you to stay for the 2 months, then silently take your bags back to your room. Come back and state very clearly. If at any time during the 2 months she tries to guilt you, tries to change your mind or uses her hate for your boyfriend to turn you against him, there will be no second chance. You will get your bags and leave. Let's make the most of these 2 months, Gran. Make it known that during these 2 months, you will be living out of your suitcase, having already taken away everything of yours, leaving only the essentials, ready to leave at a moment's notice if she tramples on your boundaries and squanders her second chance. If you feel a little more in control of your own destiny and that you might be able to put up with a little of your Gran's machinations to try to stop you from moving, then implement the 3 strikes rule. The first time she says something contrary to your boundary, don't argue. Say, Gran, that was strike 1. I told you there will be no discussion, no negotiation, and certainly no criticism of my decision. 2 more strikes and I will be immediately gone before your last hurtful sentence leaves your mouth. OP's edit. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support and advice. It feels so good to have so many people in my corner for once. Also, I'd like to give some context points. The only reason we want to make it a discussion is so that she understands that she'll need to find some other way to get by. One of the biggest reasons I want to move out is because I'm almost 30 and I've never felt like I've had my own life. I want to change that. There are a couple of assisted living homes and services in our town and we're planning to suggest them to her. The first thing I plan to do after moving out is to find a good therapist. But regardless of what happens, I'm still moving out one way or another. If push comes to shove and she forces me into an it's your family or your boyfriend decision, I'm choosing my boyfriend. And about my brother. He's a year older than me and he's on the spectrum. He's very high functioning and could easily learn to be independent with some help. But she's basically convinced him that he can use his autism to get other people to take care of him. She's got him conditioned to use his autism as a crutch. He's been offered positions in groups that help autistic people learn life skills. But she pulls him out the instant he complains about not wanting to go. Alright, well that commenter gave OP a pretty good plan and OP has her mind made up. She's going to choose her boyfriend and she's going to leave. Now OP has given us a total of 5 updates but I've curated some together because some were longer than others and were about the same topics. So now let's continue with the updates, but before that I gotta show you another playlist that only has stories with updates on them. Go check it out. Now let's move on with the updates. I've come to the decision that I'm moving out by the end of summer. At the very latest. I haven't told Gran yet, but I will sometime the next couple of weeks after I've made a few more preparations. My boyfriend and his family are behind me no matter what she says or does and I'm fully prepared to dispute any guilt trips she might throw at me over my decision. I'm already rounding up important documents and working on packing up any sentimental or valuable belongings. Even if I can't get them squirreled away at his place without her knowing, I literally have to walk by her bed to get out of the house, so sneaking things out isn't easy. I can at least make it easy for me to grab them and go if they're all in one box or tote. I've decided to stand firm in telling her that I won't be at her beck and call. If she's willing to be civil, I won't mind doing small things here or there, like taking her to doctor's appointments when the public transit bus in town, her usual method of getting places because it's wheelchair friendly, is busy, or coming by just to visit and or do light housekeeping if she needs it. But I won't be suckered into coming back every other day to keep taking care of her. And if she doesn't want to be civil and tries to make it a me or your boyfriend fight, I'm going with my boyfriend. I'm not gonna waste my energy trying to reason with her if she just wants a war. The one thing I'm most worried about regarding moving out is what my Gran will want to do about my dog. Her name is on the vet record because she made me give them her name instead of mine when we first got him. She buys his food and pays for his basic care. It has to yearly shots, flea treatment, etc. Only because, as I said in the original post, I'm not allowed to work, so I have no money. When we got him, she insisted he was my dog and she continues calling him my dog. And I do everything for him. I've trained him, I feed him, I walk him, I bathe him, I clip his nails, etc. I don't ask my Gran or my brother to do any of that. Because again, he's my dog. I love him so much and I couldn't imagine losing him. But I'm worried that when I tell her I'm leaving, she'll insist on keeping him out of spite since he's hers as far as his records go. But I love my dog and I know for a fact that she and my brother won't be able to take care of him without me because she's disabled and my brother is lazy. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you to the people who left supportive comments and advice on my original post. I can't even express how good it feels to have so many people on my side. If any of you are reading this, please know that I am taking your advice to heart and doing what I can to be prepared for the move. Quick update. My boyfriend and I have decided to talk to Gran in 8 days' time. I've been cleaning, organizing, and packing up my things to the best of my ability without alerting my Gran or brother, and I've located and secured all of my important legal documents. A solid plan has been made for Gran to make payments to own the house so she and my brother won't have to move after all. We've decided to tell her before the contract is finalized so she won't be able to use it to keep me in the house. I'm incredibly nervous about telling her, but I'll be glad to get it done. I have everything I absolutely need ready to go at a moment's notice. My boyfriend will be with me the whole time and will help me stand strong against any gaslighting she tries. I'm nervous about the aftermath, but I refuse to let her stop me. I'm absolutely going to talk to the vet about changing the name my dog is under. Gran has paid the bills for what few trips he's had, getting neutered and up to date on shots, but I've always been the one to take him and see the vet in person, and my boyfriend has said he's fully prepared to pay for a microchip. I'm even willing to take it to civil court if I have to, but I'm pretty sure Gran won't let it go that far out of spite. I'll come back with the results after then. Wish me luck. Thank you all for all of your support. It means the world to me. Alright, so OP has a plan, she's ready to follow through and she's psyching herself up. Also, OP's boyfriend and his family sound awesome, they really got OP's back. So now let's move on to the next update to see how this story continues. My boyfriend and I finally told Gran I'm ready to move out, and she was, quite surprisingly, rather okay with it and did start off with the expected, "Why do you want to leave?" And, well, what am I supposed to do? Questions, and sprinkled in some things about still needing help with certain tasks, but in the end, she admitted that she figured it would happen eventually and that she can't stop me. She didn't even argue about wanting to keep my dog and admitted that he'd be too much for her and my brother to handle. We did offer to help her find a cat or smaller dog to keep her company, something that she and my brother could take care of much more easily than my 40-pound bag of energized muscles. Because she was so amicable about it, I told her that I'm willing to stick around long enough to help make sure that her rent-to-own contract with the landlord goes through right. She signs in 5 days. But I won't be co-signing anything since I won't be living here, and she's admitted that my brother needs to learn to start taking care of himself and doing normal housework, so she's going to start looking into services to help him with that, as well as better home care service, so Gran will still have a little bit of help when I'm gone. Her only stipulation was that she wants my boyfriend and me to be married before I move in with him. Old-fashioned values and all that jazz. We're prepared to fight her a bit on that front since it would mean another year or more of waiting while we set it up, and we've already been together for nearly 7 years at this point. But if need be, we don't mind getting engaged just to prevent a fight. To clarify, we do want to get married at some point, but I don't want to keep staying at home as a live-in maid for over a year while we get a wedding planned, and I don't want to get married just because she wants me to. We're 100% not going to let her bully us into getting married before we want to. But we don't mind an official engagement in the meantime since we're practically engaged already. Sans ring. I'm honestly so surprised that she took it so well. Here's hoping she doesn't change her mind when it comes time to start moving things out. Now, I'm not sure if what she's doing is a kill him with kindness move, if she hasn't really processed, or if she's genuinely accepting this. I'm just going to tread lightly until I'm actually moved out. At least, now I can start moving large things that I couldn't sneak out. Honestly, I'm on cloud 9 after having everything go so well so far. If that's the last hurdle I need to get past to get my freedom without alienating myself from my family, I'm willing to find some sort of middle ground if it means I get to enjoy my future. Nicely done with the follow-through, OP. And I have to say, I am a little bit nervous about what's going to happen next because she took it so well, so I don't know if she's gonna freak out or do something weird. How about we move on to the next update to find out? Hello friends. It's been almost 4 months since I updated you on this situation, and that's because I've spent that time in a very precarious balancing act. So, as you know, I've been taking my time to pack and move my stuff bit by bit so I could also help her out by cleaning and organizing the house and figuring out ways for her and my brother to get by without me there 24/7. We've had a number of household calamities during that time, including having to replace a number of old fixtures that all broke down at once. So I've been doing what I can to help out with all of that, even though it's forced me to put off moving for even longer. Problem is, the more time passes and the more things I move, my Gran has gotten less and less okay with me moving. She snarks at me every time I haul out a set of boxes, saying everything from, you know he's going to keep all your stuff and throw you on the street if you break up, right? To, he'll make you throw most of your crap out since he won't want all of that crowding his house. She keeps implying that my boyfriend will make me get rid of my dog because he has cats, even though he's never even indicated such a thing and has actually made a lot of plans to make it easier to socialize them. And of course, there are the guilt trips. I've done my absolute best to be civil and mature, debating and explaining things to her rather than fighting, staying in the house way longer than I ever intended to just help her out and be the bigger person. But now, I'm done. My boyfriend took me out for lunch today and we hung out for a while. I gave her an hour's notice before we left and she didn't tell me she needed anything. We were gone for a couple of hours and she didn't say anything when I came home. Cut to dinner time and she starts passive-aggressively talking crap about me to my brother knowing I was in the room. About how I took off to have lunch and didn't give a crap if either of them ate. And after 3 months of holding my tongue and playing nice, I snapped. We fought for a bit and she ended up bitching about how I spend all my time with boyfriend and I don't care about her. And I told her that at almost 28 years old, I don't need her permission to be an adult. And she said, "You wanna leave? Then go." You'll regret walking out on your brother and me as soon as you do. Just ignoring the fact that I've been systematically moving for the last 3 months already. So I'm done. I haven't spoken to her for the last couple of hours and I already texted my boyfriend telling him that I'll be moved out by the end of the week. That gives me enough time to pack the last of my stuff and get it hauled out and him enough time to get everything set for me to move in. Plus, he works the rest of the week and won't be free to help me until Friday. By Friday, I plan to be moved, no matter what Gran says or does. I'm anticipating an outburst as soon as she realizes I'm actually gone, but I won't be fighting with her. That's the only reason I'm waiting until Friday, so boyfriend can be there to help haul everything out at once. If she wants to yell and threaten, then she can deal with the aftermath on her own. Quick update. I moved out. I just got up from my first night spent in the new place. So far, I'm still adjusting, as is my dog, but I'm confident everything will work out. My gran gave me some grief when I told her I was finally making the move, but it was nothing major. She threw out some, "You're just abandoning us, and why do you need to go live with him so bad," but she quieted down as soon as we were loading up my things. In all honesty, I think she might have been more sad than angry, for right now at least, but I think she and my brother got through the night just fine without me. So here's hoping everyone can be happier with this arrangement. I've got a lot of cleaning and unpacking to do, so I'm signing off for now. Thanks again to everyone for their encouragement and well wishes. Nicely done, Opie, you're finally out from under your grandma's thumb, or at least out of her household so she can't control you so much. Good for you. Now, let's finish this story with the last and final update. Hello friends. It's been 6 weeks since my last update on this situation, but I thought I'd check in with you all with one last update for anyone who was interested. I've been living with my boyfriend for a little over a month now, and things are going really well. In fact, my boyfriend is now my fiancé. Gran has cooled down a lot, though she still gets a bit testy when I haven't talked to her for a few days. She and my brother got a kitten to keep them company, and I've been very impressed by how much my brother has actually stepped up to help since I moved. I visit and chat with them a couple of times a week, and I even had a Thanksgiving with them and then one with my fiancé's family the next day. As for me, I've been slowly adjusting to life without strict rules and restrictions. My fiancé and his family have been amazing to me. Anytime I've started to struggle or get overwhelmed with the change, they're right there to talk me down. It's amazing to feel so much love and support from family. They've helped me get settled in and got me some things I've never had all to myself before, like a lovely set of cooking pans. Even my dog has settled into the new place well, and I take him over to see Gran every now and then. Also, my fiancé's mom used to work in a program with autistic kids and adults, and she's already offered to help look for a program that can help my brother. So far, things have been working out well, and I'm hoping they get even better as everyone gets used to the new rhythm of life. I want to thank everyone here that supported and encouraged me through this whole ordeal. You all helped me keep a level head going into the move, and you're all amazing. Well, OP, I'm gonna call this one a happy final update to this whole saga and a great beginning to the rest of your life with your fiancé and future husband. So here's wishing you both the best in the future. Take care, OP, and thank you so much for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.